Three men with 3 decades of separation debate 3 tough choices every week. This is the Pick 3 Show. Welcome back to another episode of the Pick 3 Show, where 3 panelists with 3 decades of separation debate, dissect and deride each other's choices for any subject thrown at us by the Pickmaster General. Today's topic is top 3 fashion crimes we forgave too easily. And I do suspect that the age separation of the panel is likely to play a huge part in the selections. I also believe that the panel's selection of jeans tells us a lot about their individual fashion sense. Gareth continues his obsession with skinny jeans, whilst relishing his status as the racing whippet of the group. Andy prefers the wider comfort of the FUBU Skater Boy range, whilst Martin opts for a straight-legged boot-cut option to match his cowboy aesthetic. So joining me in the Levi store, where many purchases have been made over the years, are my usual co-conspirators, Senior English Open Pickleball Champion Gareth.
He has to get the senior in every time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Skater Boy Andy. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Martin.
Martin, wee bit disappointed with the Levi shop. I was wanting, now Top Man is on its way back. You know the way I wanted to delay this episode and have it in the new Top Man shop, because that was a scene of many fashion disasters for me.
To be honest, the Top Man shop's a little too young for my tastes. And when I was thinking about this, I came up with 501 reasons to actually use the Levi shop.
Oh,
that's
God.
501.
Our listeners are switching off on the droves.
Do you remember the Levi's where whenever you had to buy them and then get in the bath with them?
There's a whole marketing campaign around that.
Do you remember that?
I just put mine on.
Shrink.
No, you're meant to put them on and then get the bath into the bathroom, and they shrunk to your legs.
Yes, but you wanted that very skinny. You see, as I say, I've got a bootleg, a bootcut aesthetic going on. Andy, it would have taken your ones about a month and a half to shrink, wouldn't it?
I don't actually think I own any Levi's. Now, I used to as a kid. Levi's were great jeans.
Well, Levi's were the number one. You were either Wrangler or Levi when I was growing up.
Or Lee. Do you remember the Lee factory shop?
I was just
Newton Ards.
Yes, I do. But I was just going to say you were either Wrangler or Levi or one of the others. Your choices were, your premium brands at the time were Wrangler or Levi. And you couldn't cross over. No. You were one or t'other.
Yeah.
And I was definitely Levi.
Yes.
Well, I was Lee because it was the factory outlet option.
Was Lee an American brand manufactured here, sold in America?
I don't know, but anyway, it was all this big trip up to the Lee factory shop with a big badge which said Lee.
Yeah, near where the MOT centre is now.
Yeah, a lovely stonewash there you'd get.
Do you think our listener, Colin McCamley, who you have a running battle with, would be a Lee or a Levi man?
I think he'd be Duns.
Brilliant. We're going to have to get him on as a guest.
Yeah, we are.
I'm not sure he and I are allowed to be in the same room together. He might feel that that's the perfect opportunity to lean across the table, grab a tuft of my hair and bounce my head off the desk.
He enjoyed your Benidorm gag.
I'm not surprised. I enjoyed my Benidorm gag, but there we go. So we are on to talk about fashion crimes we forgave too easily. And I can't think of 3 people better qualified to talk about fashion than the panel that sits here today in the Levi store. As we, when we talked to the manager when they came in, he looked at the 3 of us and he said, Martin, those jeans are great. Those are classics. Gareth, you maybe could think about going one size more. And Andy, we could repurpose yours and get 3 sets out of them.
Do you know what? The amount of amusement Martin has in the intro.
You know he's had that all for the week.
I haven't. That was unfortunately off the front. Anyway, we are going to talk about the fashion crimes that we look back on, and various ones of our listeners have come through with some options as well. But Oh, I quite enjoyed that myself, actually.
To our listeners, Martin is grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah, well, there you go. You get away with the odd one with these two, but no doubt it'll come back to haunt me later on. So, looking at our picks for top 3 fashion crimes that we forgave too easily. Andy, your number 3 choice.
Thank you, Martin, for that lovely intro. This is a really interesting one. Like, what we usually do when we get these topics a week before, send them out to our listeners, and we can gauge the feedback from a lot of people. Whenever I sent this out, a lot of people were very quiet. They didn't come back. And then I sent another message a couple of days ago to say, these can be fashion disasters you have had in your life. It's not a generic thing like flares or top hats or something. And
top hats? Were a lot of people listing top hats as a major fashion faux pas?
It might be my number 1, Martin. Be careful. But the amount of people that came back like rabid dogs straight away. Oh, I remember against me. I remember you used to wear that top at university. I was like, oh my word, I've opened up Pandora's box here. So straight away, my 3 choices were quickly transformed into what other people thought were my biggest fashion disasters. So my number 3, which someone shared a photo of, which I'll put in our social, the year was 1998. I was 18. I was in Newcastle upon Tyne. I was at university. And for whatever reason, I thought it was a great idea. I had curtains at the time, as was the sort of fashion sort of...
Is that a hairstyle?
Yeah, mid to late 90s.
That's the hairstyle?
That split in the middle.
I could have bet my life on you the curtains hairstyle.
So, hair similar colour here. But what I decided to elevate it to another level was to go and get a bleached blonde.
Oh, jeez.
So
you blonde hair?
Blonde hair for about 6 months when I was 18 years old.
No.
These are fashion crimes we forgave too easily. I would never have forgiven you for that.
No, the forgiveness bit came in later life. When I looked at the photo yesterday, I was like, wow. Now, because I've got quite dark hair.
This has gone into a hairdresser and got the bleach blonde, or is this sunning?
Oh, no. I tried sunning year before, but this was like we all had sort of sun in like little bit and all, but it didn't really do much detail. So this was blonde curtains in 1998, and it was the photo I got sent last night was just I was like that's not me. That's not me. And the funny thing is, this hadn't even crossed my mind. I was like, oh, that's cool. 4 or 5 different listeners came back and said, that has to be in your list for your stuff.
Oh, nightmare.
But back to Martin's point, none of them, they were like, we still haven't forgiven what it's done to our eyes.
Oh, flip. Bleach blonde hair.
Did you ever go down the sort of adjusting your hair colour? I mean, at the moment you're sporting an excellent sort of silver tinted grey look, which I'm presuming you didn't put in.
No.
It's natural.
No, it's all... It is natural. No, I never went through the down my hair age when I was younger.
Neither did I. I was very much of the opinion that I had enough problems with my hair, let alone starting to add complications to it.
Well, do you know what it was? It was the fear. See, whenever you bleach it was the fear. You know, at 18, the biggest fear for you was losing your hair.
Yeah.
That is, and you know, you'd find that now hair would drop out in the sink or whatever, and you go, oh, for flip's sake, I'm going to be bald by the age of 21. So, which was always my greatest fear. So adding a bleach to it would have thought I would have wrecked that.
Yeah.
So that was your greatest fear?
Yeah.
Was losing your hair?
Yeah.
I had a few worse ones than that. But
no.
Your hair must have been a thing of beauty back then.
Oh, it was, and that might appear.
Oh, really?
Oh,
so,
right.
So number 3... a gentle start, bleach blonde curtains.
Good choice.
The concept is that we forgave too easily, and as I said, I learn every week on this podcast some things about my colleagues and bad decisions. We've said this on the podcast many times. There are no wrong choices, but there are some bad decisions. Andy, was a bad decision.
No.
It's as my friend Paul McCoubrey, who listens, says he enjoys the ones that are educational. So this is like a educational podcast of what not to do. I
know. Well, one thing I say, I think I will have the greatest disaster today.
Really?
And there will be no forgiveness because at this stage I still haven't forgave myself.
Oh, excellent.
So, but that is to come.
Well, we'll maybe take that to our self-help episode where we talk about how we can help you forgive yourself.
Yeah, it needs it. So it does.
But okay, so listeners, you're off with in your heads, you're imagining Andy with his bleached blonde curtains hanging over his eyes. He's an 18-year-old in Newcastle. He doesn't really look out of place.
No.
But
I'll show Gareth and Martin the photo I've sent. This was photo quality's
you
not
look
great.
like H from Steps.
I do. That is the spit of H from Steps. He does.
That's
Brilliant.
horrendous.
Oh, he pair of Levi's as well,
And
Martin.
the other thing is,
Yeah,
he's even posing like H from Steps.
he is.
Oh, I love it.
So,
But there you go. Well, that's got us up and running. Gareth, what is your number 3 fashion disaster or fashion crime?
given that we're in the Levi store, just whenever Martin's doing his fashion disaster, I'm going to try on a pair of these 501s. So if you don't mind, guys, I'll come back for this thing again, but I'll just let you know. Anyway,
Can you still do the buttons up okay?
yeah, no, I'm going to give myself a bit of freedom. So my fashion disaster, fashion disaster should be forgiven. This one I never had, and thankfully because my mum did not allow me to join this trend. Now the truth is, I did want to join it, but I wasn't allowed to join this trend, and I thank her dearly for this. And it is check jeans.
Check jeans.
Do you remember them? In around about the 80s, 90s, there was a trend whereby there was like a tartan imprinted onto the jeans. They were pure check on it. But they were still in they weren't in any colour. They were still in blue. But it was like what's that called? Whereby you have, just literally the same colour on colour. And they're all check jeans. And they're all different versions of it. I read up about it, and it was introduced by Alexander McQueen and those type first, but it certainly soon made it to the Spideys. And I use the word Spider-Man because did you have that word?
I am aware of the word.
Yeah, which is modern day schmicks.
Oh, really?
So it is. So if you were wearing something, you were said you're a complete Spider-Man. So it was, or
In
you're
fact,
Spidey.
Yes,
Spide, yeah.
shortened very much to Spide.
Spide.
Yeah.
Or your Spidey or whatever. So check jeans were horrendous. So they were. So you can imagine the self-patterned check on a pair of jeans. And I'm telling you, everybody had them.
Wow.
So it was so horrendous.
Fortunately, I never did.
Either did I.
I had bypassed that. What I also bypassed, very fortunately, and didn't do, you don't remember the Bay City roller trousers? That they were certainly ahead of Andy's time, but the Bay City rollers, there was a huge element, and that's what I said, there's a tartan stripe down. They would be like black trousers or dark red trousers, but they'd have a tartan stripe down, and then like a tartan cuff at the bottom of them. But they also sat up about 8 inches above your ankles. Oh, wow. And that was a look in the late 70s that you went, ooh, I'm really glad I never fell for that.
Yeah.
That would have been quite grim. So you didn't actually fall for that?
It wasn't allowed. Wasn't allowed. I think my mum knew that was a Spidey type aspect of it, and they'd look at Spider-Man and just refused to let us wear them.
And I think we should put a shout out to your mum for being very, very sensible. Although I did have an argument with my mum years earlier to that in the late 70s when Adidas was first appearing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get a pair of Adidas trainers. And my mum came back with a pair of Dunn's trainers, which had 2 stripes, as opposed to Adidas at 3. And I said, no, those aren't the right ones. Those only got 2 stripes. And she said, nobody will notice.
Oh.
And I went, and they do just say one of the stripes fell off.
Yeah.
And I'm going, you don't really get branding, do you? But the reality was, and she was right at the time, we all became so obsessed with brands and following certain trends.
And Dunay's stores was not really a brand. Saint Bernard, do you remember?
Yeah. Oh, yes, it was branded as Saint Bernard.
Saint Bernard.
And fair play. Actually, they produced some very, very good stuff at a cheaper price point.
No, I think that's wrong, Martin. Like, when did they produce good stuff?
I think for all listeners out there were certain things that they produced that were fine.
Socks.
Underpants.
Love it.
But anyway, okay, so that was your number 3. My number 3, I'm just going to go to a slightly more generic thing because, again, this probably predates both of you a little bit, which was the huge obsession in the late 70s with bell-bottom jeans. I know. Which were the sort of things... In fact, there was so much material between your knee and the ground that you could have got a couple of pairs of Andy's jeans out of them. You know, it was ludicrous. And they got torn, caught up. You couldn't ride a bike or anything like that because they would get caught, and they just looked ridiculous. Now, there has been a bit of a comeback in this.
Yeah.
And this sort of, look, fashion trends roll round and round and round. We know that. And what was out will eventually come back in.
Did you own any?
Not specifically bell-bottom, but you certainly had flared trousers in the late 70s. And in fact, at that point in time, before I was at the point where I was earning some of my own money and able to go out and decide that I would go either Levi's or Wrangler, and as you said, Gareth, there was the Lee jeans that you could go to. There were a couple of other brands available too, and Farah.
Oh, Farah. Farah's a big brand now.
Yes, but Farah jeans, when they first came out, would have been, and again, I'm going back to my mother buying me a pair of jeans, and they were slightly flared, bell-bottom. But the back pockets had zips.
Ooh, exotic.
No. It's the complete opposite. You looked like an absolute dork with these zipped back pockets. And so I would go back to that era of jeans and go bell-bottom jeans. We forgave that because pretty much everybody had them.
Yeah.
But those morphed at a later date into dungarees.
Oh,
Which, again, are, unless you work on a farm in the deep south in America, there is nowhere that dungarees look like they should be.
no.
And certainly not out on the high street or in the discotheque.
Although we all, I'm sure, were putting dungarees by our mums as a kid.
Nope, never had a pair of dungarees.
I was. And a particular corduroy ones, I remember.
Yep, I had those.
Yeah.
So you had corduroy dungarees?
Corduroy
Christmas
dungarees.
photos from the early 80s. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Were they a hand down from the Gareth family?
Could well have
could have
been.
I can't believe your mother went out and purchased those.
There is a photo where it was like us in the mid-80s getting up for Christmas, and my brother and I are dressed, one with oversized Adidas t-shirt and one with like a Nike hoodie on.
I love it. Number 2, Andy.
Number 2, and this brought back a lot of memories, and this was in my top 3, probably around the early 2000s. No, actually from 96 through the early 2000s, when I was starting to go out to bars, as Martin says, discotheques.
Yeah.
It was when you went out in smart trousers, smart shoes, and a smart shirt. And you ironed it and it looked good. And I remember there was this whole craze of this iridescent, like purpley sort of neon coloured shirts. I had one in particular, I remember, got it for Christmas, and it was like a purple shirt. And someone sent a photo of it last night. I was in stitches. And I look at it and go, how on earth could anyone ever think that was good? And I remember that shirt, there was about 2 or 3 different versions of that I got over the years. I look at it now. It's like a neon smart
With
shirt.
the collar, or we're talking the hyper color ones?
No, this is like a collared shirt. Iridescent. I Googled exactly what iridescent meant last night because I was the word that popped into my brain. It's like the colour shifting on it a little bit.
Light activated.
Yeah, it was honestly one of the worst things I ever seen. 2 of our listeners also sent it in as well as theirs, because whenever I was trying to explain it, they were like, yeah, that was the late 90s to early 2000s. Everyone wore it.
Paisley pattern, no?
No, just like a purpley, think like a neon purple with black suit, almost suit trousers and like black shoes. That was the attire. I'll try, and I'll share this in our socials as well for our listeners. That's an example of the type of shirt, but actually sleeves down, so like a purpley sort of thing.
Oh, I know what you mean now.
It was
Yes,
in that sort of late And it was the whole thing.
It's post Miami Vice because they passed through that phase
Yeah.
where you had
Oh,
jackets
100%.
that you were on the sleeves up and you had the jackets and the espadrilles.
my.
There's nothing says Belfast more than a set of espadrilles.
aye.
You know, when you're
For
out there
socks.
on a wet evening.
I remember, like, if you went into a bar in Belfast or even Newcastle when I moved over, you had to be dressed in a shirt, trousers, and shoes.
No jeans.
No
No
jeans were allowed
trainers.
out, no sportswear, and they considered
No.
jeans sportswear.
Like, 'cause sometimes you'd go away with the boys over to England or whatever, and you want to go to a nightclub, and everyone go, "Did you bring your trousers?
oh yeah, you're not getting in.
You're not getting in."
Yeah.
And there's people I saw, many a friend of mine turned away because they're in jeans or they're trainers, not in the proper like school shoes type thing.
Oh yeah.
But you wouldn't get turned away.
Why?
You would be turning up all smartly attired and ready to go in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
something
don't
coming
make
here.
mistakes, rookie errors like that.
No.
Yeah,
I was ready for that.
There's a line
discotheque.
coming somewhere
Hitman
here.
her.
There's a line coming.
No. I'm just,
So you,
Definitely, I'm worried here more.
So anyway, the purple shirts, when you're on stage with steps,
do you know what?
does the light reflect off that?
Do you know what? I guarantee if you were to Google steps, you would
Oh,
probably
you
get
find
a
it.
shirt like
I'm
that.
pretty sure you would. That's in fact is what
Oh,
I'm imagining.
this is
And
gone.
do you know how I'm viewing the whole thing? It's a tragedy.
The other thing is, like, where nowadays would you wear royal purple shirt?
Oh, jeez.
Like, no one put up Mark. You're looking a bit guilty.
No, no, I do not have an imperial purple shirt.
No, definitely not.
Honestly, and back to that point, like when you went out back in those days, it was like you had to iron
Yeah.
everything, get to the point where everything, colours were up
Oh,
properly
aye.
and all buttoned up to the top. Unbelievable.
Do you remember the hypercolor t-shirts?
Yeah.
Which
Tie-dye.
changed color with your heat.
Yeah,
Body heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
they were great.
ridiculous.
Early 90s, mid 90s.
They were great, and you come out with they were ridiculous.
So-
I remember getting one in America, would have been 1990, I would have been 10, thinking, this is the best thing ever. Coming back here, and then about a few months later, everyone was wearing it.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
you're totally right.
And over here, the heat doesn't get up enough to change the colour.
No, it was your body heat.
I know, but this was when you went out and it used to.
Oh, I was freezing.
I'm just thinking something about my number 3 was the blonde curtains, and number 2 was the purple shirt. My number 1 actually links in scarily well, which
Oh,
I won't
excellent.
mention, but I
Good.
can't wait for that.
Okay, it's my second one. I did fall for this fashion faux pas. Slip-on shoes with white socks. So, and not only did I wear this,
Listeners, I'd like to apologise for
Yeah.
this. I'm sure many of you, like me, have just felt a
Yeah.
slight. How could you best describe it? It's like a disturbance in the force.
it is. And not only did I wear this on a night out, but I also wore this to school as well.
What?
So I did have for a night out a grey pair of slip-on shoes that I loved, so did with white socks. But the big thing was I had a pair of black ones that I wore to school probably whenever I was about 15, 16. And the real rebel without a clue moment was whenever you stuck on a pair of non-regulation white socks with your slip-on shoes and school uniform. And I thought, like at that stage, I had really long hair, which will soon to become aware of. And I had my white socks on. And if I was chocolate, I would have eaten myself. It was that good.
I have to say that we talk about fashion crimes we forget too easily. And, obviously I didn't know either of you two chaps at that age and stage. And certainly had I been hanging around the schools, I'd have been arrested at the time. But
That's another podcast idea.
yeah, but the reality is when you suddenly think back to the things that you thought at school, and it's amazing how many people copied the same thing,
Oh, I know.
and it was perfectly normal to do something. It is a ridiculous look,
Oh, it was.
and again, coupled almost certainly with drain pipey style trousers.
Oh, yeah. Well, the black trousers you would have had on, in school, they would have been quite tight, like I like a tight trouser. And
To be fair, the manager here, Levi, has looked at you several times.
to be able to put on these white socks was the rebellious side, and you'd get done by the teacher, and you couldn't wear them the next day. But then soon it sort of die down again and get those white socks on, and you strutted in in your slip-on shoes, white socks. I love them.
What an image.
I'm not quite speechless, but you are at the point of thinking, yeah, we've all looked back. And I mean, I can think back to the 70s and school uniform in the 70s. And it was much more, you had to adhere to the rules. And there weren't the same amount of choice. I think suddenly in the 80s and into the 90s, there was a huge surge in the choice available. And that kids were making, actually parents were buying into this branded idea and everything else. We didn't really have that in the 70s. So school uniform was school uniform and you didn't really deviate from that. Now, most people at school would have gone with a certain type of shoe and they would have put on those little metal heel protectors so that you could sound hard while you were walking down. Click along. So,
you sound like Fred Astaire.
Yeah. But we used to do that all the time. Just in the centre of town, you'd go out and it was like a whole dance routine in the middle.
It was.
Donegal Place. But anyway.
But the other thing was, like, whenever I think back to my school uniform or whatever, now my mum will probably kill me for this here, but, with one pair of trousers that had to do you for a full year. And I laugh whenever I pick up my girls from school now, and you particularly see, the young lads coming out, and the trousers are about halfway up their leg, because there's no way you were getting your trousers replaced anywhere after January, because you wouldn't get the word of it. But I don't remember having different
That's
shirts.
a phrase.
Yeah, no, I don't.
No, but you just had. Wait,
was it one shirt for the week?
No.
No.
We operated on two.
Did you two? Maybe two.
Yeah,
It was probably.
And you did 2 days in one shirt and then
3 days.
3 days in the other two.
Including the Friday.
Including the Friday.
And then you had a short sleeve one for summer.
Yep.
And if you lost that, it would be right. You got back to your long sleeve now.
Yep.
Oh,
And it was one pair of trousers and it was a couple of pairs of school socks and one pair of school shoes to get you through the year.
yeah.
Now, Andy's just mentioned a fashion faux pas there that I will never, ever do. And I want you to shoot me if you ever see it. Short sleeve shirt. Never had one in my life.
I have had a thing that I went to work for years and years and I roll my sleeves up.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm
I
good with
roll
that.
my sleeves up, but I do not buy short sleeve shirts
never.
for going to work. I have to say I have a couple of holiday shirts that are short sleeve.
We Hawaiian numbers.
Or
You could say that,
put it this way.
but that may not be correct.
Would you wear these short sleeve shirts out on a night, or are they for going down to the pool?
Well, I wouldn't be a big going out for the night type.
No, but going out for dinner or whatever.
Yeah, potentially.
Oh, that's a fashion faux pas.
That's your number one then, is it?
That's your number one now.
No. I mean, again, I have to say it's perfectly acceptable.
Who by?
Well, me for a start.
Yeah, well, then you need to have
And
a word with Debs.
if Debs confirms that it is acceptable, then it is acceptable.
Has she ever confirmed it's acceptable?
She's concerned a couple of things weren't acceptable, which is something you take on board.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't think short sleeve shirts are acceptable.
Yeah.
But yet you could
I
wear
don't
a polo shirt for golf and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's got 3 wee buttons on. That's all. It's not right down.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, it's a good angle.
Okay.
It's a bit like, for me, there is no excuse for a cardigan. Would
Yeah.
either of you have a cardigan?
No.
No.
Andy, you must have a cardigan.
No.
I think he does.
Yeah, I think
he's
he does.
looking
Actually,
guilty.
he is looking guilty, aye.
No, I don't actually have any
No,
cardigans.
I don't have a cardigan either.
No, I had-
Have you ever had a cardigan?
yeah, in school I had cardigans. No,
Did
I
you?
don't. No, we had blazers, unfortunately, which I hated. And that was, if we're talking, don't get anything messed up, getting your blazer,
You had to get 2 years out of it.
a Sullivan.
Ideally, and then people would rip your pockets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, that's not good.
Totally.
Okay.
Right, number 2, Martin.
My number 2 is again going back to the late 80s, and that is leg warmers for non-dancers. Because there was there was this whole phase, particularly with girls, of actually that leg warmers.
Yeah.
And these were things worn by people who danced at Pineapple Studios in London or were in the West End. And then apparently everybody needed to have them for going out and all the rest of it. Leg warmers for non-dancers.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, very few people can imitate the look of somebody who has trained regularly at Pineapple Dance Studios.
Yeah.
They can get away with that sort of a thing. On a cold, wet night out in Belfast, leg warmers just looks to use.
Was this a common thing?
It was a very common
yeah.
fashion thing in the late 80s, and it came through that whole era of 80s music.
Okay.
And there would have been...
You would have seen Madonna. Probably would have had a pair, wouldn't you?
I think she had more than one pair. The girl could afford a couple of pairs.
Yeah.
Quite material, that girl. Sorry.
And that's something which, after you said it, I cannot think of seeing that.
No, but you
No,
see,
it
you come a little bit later
No,
into
I mean since then
business.
to now.
No,
No,
it
they
never come
don't.
back.
They don't seem to have
No, there's
reappeared.
nothing.
Like, what was the point in them, really? Because you don't want to be leg warmed whenever you're dancing.
I don't know.
Again, that's a very good point. Well
One of our-
made,
yeah.
and I will send you to do some research. If you go on the internet and do some research, that'll not come back to haunt you at all.
No, that won't.
Just have to be careful what you're sticking in that
Yeah,
on the internet.
Your browser history.
Exactly.
That's a good one, Martin. That's a
Okay.
good one.
No, well, it's one of those things you think back and everybody kind of nobody said anything about it. It was just accepted.
Yeah.
So on the concept that we forgave these things, we did kind of forgive
did.
that sort of a look. And you go, with the benefit of hindsight, should we?
Yeah.
Should we not have just been telling people, sorry, those are for dancers?
Yeah, we should have.
I like that. Yep, it's good. Good too. On to my number one, which still to this day,
Now, this is a fashion crime, remember?
oh, this is one of the biggest crimes of my life. The year 1996. I'm awaiting, school's finished. GCSE results are out in a few weeks. So it's sort of middle of July sort of time. Me, my friends Gareth, Myatt, Bradley Moore,
Oh, throw them all under the
and
bus.
James Bell decide, let's go down to Bangor, the big city of Bangor, and let's get our ears.
Technically, it was a town back then.
No.
It was only
You know where this is going.
No.
Let's get our ears pierced.
Oh, no.
So that's not the best bit of the story. So we go down. It was a fiver in this wee room up in Market Street, all left ear. Make sure it's the left ear, not the right
sure
one.
The right
Yeah.
word.
So just the left ear. So we did it. And you got a little stud in your ear, and you were told by the person doing it, you have to keep that in for a week because it has to be, the hole gets big enough so you can put in like other bits, so like accessories or whatever. So I'm sitting there, oh great, this is the four of us walking around these wee gold studs and all. Wednesday, and I can remember Wednesdays in Bangor where the market was on, used to be thriving, so the place was packed, and we're just Market Street beside it, walking around looking at the shop windows, incredible. By 5 o'clock, get home, big smile on my face. I'm sitting in a chair in our house, still my mum and dad's house. There was a chair my dad had in the front room. So I'm sitting there in his chair watching TV, and I see him driving in after work, pulling up out of the car, and he sort of squints into the window and looks in. And he comes in, he goes, get that thing effing out of your ear straight away. And I went, what, this? It's out now. Oh, I can't take it out. I have to keep it for a week. You take it out now or I'll rip it out. So I was like, ooh, sheepishly. Now, it wasn't like overly aggressive in anything, but that just triggered him for solid. So I took it out of my ear, put it to one side, and it was the last one. I had my ear pierced for a grand total of 4 hours on a Wednesday, 1996.
Now, it looked ridiculous. But to tell you the truth, I did want one as well.
Oh, did you?
I would love to have had my ear pierced
My
back then.
my kids
Yeah.
love the story because Lily's had her ear pierced. And she's 9. And she's like, tell the story again of when Grandad said he was going to rip it out of your ear.
Oh,
And she goes round Dan's my dad said, I can't remember that. I'm saying you probably put it to the back of your mind. But I remember my mum at the time, she'd go, your dad won't like that. Your dad won't like that. And he was never strict with anything for whatever reason. But that was it.
My mum wouldn't let us.
So it was ear pierced. Now, in that sort of mid-90s time, a lot of the people sort of, our groups and other groups, were getting ears pierced and stuff. But that died out quickly, sort of around. But I look back and going, what could have been?
And then people would get the double ear pierced, a guy particularly, and you go, what is going on there?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was, and I still look back at this day with fondness and much amusement of what could have been. I could have been sitting here with a lovely big hoop like a parrot on.
So your dad's first name is?
Dennis.
Dennis, this goes out to you. Thank you for being a good parent, a good and proper parent
So true.
who stopped young Andy from looking stupid.
Like, our parents had a big say in what we did. Like,
Huge say.
Like, I wanted an
Yeah.
earring, but my mum said no. I wanted the check jeans. Mum said no. And to be fair,
They were right calls. They were
At the
right
time,
calls.
you thought they were completely wrong.
Oh,
but they
100%.
stopped some fashion disasters.
Oh, 100%.
There is a possibility that shortly Dennis will replace Andy on this podcast as somebody who obviously has the right attitude to life.
If you had came back, Martin, to your house with your ears pierced when you were, say, 16, what would happen?
Well, neither of you knew my dad. And let's just say there would have been no debate. You think your dad at least told you what to do?
Yeah.
No, there would have been no debate whatsoever.
A good fatal beating.
I don't think that was possibly the thing. But he certainly would not have understood anything like that.
No.
I have to own up. I mean, obviously, tattoos have become a huge thing.
Yeah.
And there are lots of people have tattoos for lots of reasons. And, you know, I just come from a
Martin
generation.
says he has a tattoo, I will fall off this chair.
I would, yeah.
No, you're quite safe. But one of the things when my eldest son at a point in time was going out to train in New Zealand, he quite fancied getting one of the Maori tattoos.
Oh, yeah, the symbols, yeah.
At some point, and I said, son, don't do that. Don't. He says, oh, well, you know, I'm of an age I can decide to do what I do myself. I said, yes, but they're incredibly unlucky. And he goes, what do you mean they're unlucky? I said, because if you get that one, you'll lose your inheritance. And that has got to be deemed as unlucky.
That's brilliant.
That's very good.
And so I think at the time he's going, oh, no. I said, look, you think long and hard before you make this. And listen, I am wrong, and I have several friends and lots of people I know, and there are lots of reasons why people get tattoos and all the rest of it, and I'm not making a judgment call on that, but I did.
Yeah.
And I'm just being honest about it.
Right.
I think things that you do that you find hard to turn back.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Once you've done it, those are the things you have to be careful of.
Yeah. I do say to my girls about no tattoos now, I have to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's in front.
Now, and again, we'd like to stress for any listeners, and I know we have listeners that do have tattoos, I apologise for having. It's just the way the era I came up in.
That's fair.
And again, the only people when I was growing up who had tattoos were either in the military or the merchant navy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Exactly.
It wasn't a big thing.
Yeah,
anyway,
true.
carry on.
Okay, my number one.
Good.
Mine did happen at the same time as yours, Andy. Not in the 90s, but I was 86 whenever I was finishing my O-levels.
Sorry, you were 86? How slow were you at school?
I know. I've been kept back a few years. No, so in 1986, and I had lovely long hair. And I think fashion faux pas is men with long hair now, but my story gets worse. I did have, and also I hate the ponytail thing that men wear. I think that's a fashion faux pas. But I did have long hair, and I was gorgeous with this long hair. I mean, generally, it was fabulous. I could sweat about in the wind, etc.
How long are we talking?
This is 1986. So
No, how long are we talking?
I'm talking
not how long ago.
I'm talking right down, well over the shoulder.
So
well
the-
over the shoulder. It was, Martin, it was gorgeous, right?
Past
So it
Kevin
was.
Keegan length.
Oh no, Kevin Keegan comes into the story in a minute, okay? So it is, right?
no, you didn't,
Yes,
did you?
yes. No,
Oh,
no,
no,
let me get to the story.
I'm going to, but I just got there.
Yes. So it was 1985-86. Just and for the year that I had it and it would swing about in the wind, it was fantastic, right? And you had the mousse that you put on it and the conditioner, oh brilliant. But anyway,
That's from Northern Exposure, isn't it?
exactly. Every 4 weeks you go to the hairdresser because there wasn't a lot of barbers. Went to the hairdresser, and the hairdresser was called Nora Bradley, and she was good, and she did admire it. But she kept saying to me, you should get maybe a little demi wave in that, right? Because it was really straight. I've really straight hair, demi wave because it just was so straight. I went, I'm going to do it. And so finished my last exam in my O-levels, right? Mates came down to get a haircut as well. We were going to Belfast that night. And she says, I'll put a demi wave in. Did the whole treatment. And I swear to God, it came out like Kevin Keegan. A perm. I mean, the tightest perm you'll ever have seen. I mean, totally curl after curl after curl going right in. It was horrendous. I mean, It was Kevin Keegan old days, you know, like how tight it was.
Yeah.
It was just around, and I was about to hit my summer of love, right? Where I'd finished my levels, I was going to go buck mad in that summer. And my mum saw it and she went, and I remember at 3:00 in the morning, my mum was still trying to cut bits out because you couldn't. Back now, if that happened to you, you'd do a David Beckham and take it really short and shave it off, right? But you couldn't do that because skinheads were bad and all that type of stuff, kind of thing. And I literally had to stay in all summer. It was just horrendous. There is one photograph, right, which my mum has and will never give to anyone. And in that photograph, I've got a big spot just on my chin as well. It would do nothing for my obviously good looks. But horrendous, the worst. And she said she was putting in a demi wave.
What is a demi wave? Is it
just a wave in it?
And it just backfired.
Which she got the full thing is under. On those days, you had to get under a heat lamp thing, whatever it's sitting in it. It was. I mean, the worst. What you've ever seen.
What is a demi wave? Why did I never expect that sentence to be uttered at any point in the podcast? What is a demi wave? A demi wave is the sign that your summer's over.
Yeah, it was. I would have gone probably as wavy as yours is now, Andy. Right? Because mine's so straight.
Yeah.
But it came out a tight perm.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It was horrendous.
I think we need to see the photo.
Oh, no way. I couldn't. And it was terrible. I mean, like it was colours. It was horrendous.
Does your mum listen to this podcast?
Oh, no. I did tell her to listen to last week's, so I did, about the foods, that she'd kill herself laughing.
It's a shame because I'd have put out a specific appeal to her right now if she was a regular listener.
She knows not to do it.
So we've had pierced ears, perms. What's Martin's number one?
Well, again, because I'm not dumb enough to actually own up to too many personal feelings on here, I am going to list multicolored shell suits. Because people have gone through phases of multicolored shell suits made of some really voluminous materials.
It's like parachute material.
It's the sort of stuff you would make a purple shirt out of.
Yeah, it's exactly.
And you'll get matching trousers and shell suits. People will use them to go on holidays and people will walk down the centre of the town. In fact, worse than that, you get couples who buy matching shell suits and all the rest of it. That is a crime against fashion of epic proportions that so many people fell into. And it's rolled round in certain formats a couple of times because it was certainly there in the 80s.
Yeah.
The late 80s. There would have been a certain amount.
It swept through the nation, didn't it?
And then again, it came through again. And it's all about these vibrant colours and
white,
shapes
blue.
on it. And it was everything. And you look at it and you go, and again, you can link that through, I think, to people who wear specific sports apparel to go and watch their team play when it is patently obvious that they are unathletic.
Yeah.
You can't make... There's a difference between wearing a coat that supports your team or a scarf.
Yeah.
But if you insist on wearing the kit, you can't make it look like...
But these weren't kits, Martin. These
weren't. These are
multicolored
shell suits.
Like a tent, material.
Oh, they were fashion statements.
Why haven't they come back again?
But they have.
Have
because
they?
you now see people are wearing tracksuits that are matching. Like the full grade tracksuits now. Like I walk through town now and go, see people wearing... Like if you ever see me walking through town in a tracksuit, shoot me.
So it's just the evolution of that shell suit material.
Technically, we're not allowed to carry weapons.
No, but
in
please,
Belfast.
I'm happy enough to do it.
I remember we were on the school trip in 1990 to London. And
no, had you 30 quid in your pocket?
That's the exact trip, good memory. And the letter came the day before, sent home as it did. There was nothing planned those days. Well, just like to warn all parents, jeans aren't allowed on this school trip.
What?
And my mum and all the other mums furious. Why? Because jeans was the staple.
Yeah.
And apparently the schools last year on the trip, one day got very wet and people's jeans got soaked. They weren't dry enough for the next day, so it slowed everything down. So the alternative was shell suits.
No.
So when there's photos of us on our P7 trip or P6 trip in shell suits.
No.
100% of the people, big puffy shell suits and
were
stuff.
those shell suits, Did they have zip pockets?
They didn't actually, Martin. So your zip pockets would have been really
Well, you see,
useful.
the zip pockets, that's a learning experience
He
right
would
there,
have
Andy.
lost
I
the
tell
money.
you, I've never put two and two together with that. If I had jeans in my wallet and the jeans,
Yeah, you would never have lost that 30 quid.
30 quid would have been safe.
Exactly.
Now, to be fair, your mates who I have a high regard for all
Yeah.
clubbed together and helped you out there.
I see,
And also, I wonder, was the £30 lost?
Oh, don't worry. There's a lot of people have wondered that.
do you think
That came back in the listener
Yeah,
comments. So
yeah.
like insurance fraud, I had them in my other pocket. Or just,
Exactly. Exactly.
But actually, so multicolored shell suits.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
take
one.
it we're happy. Now, again, we talk about fashion crimes that we forgave too easily. I don't think I've ever forgiven people for design of shell suits.
no.
No.
I mean, you look back, there's nothing particularly good about them.
I remember distinctly my dad, when I was wearing a shell suit in 90, said, stay away from the fire because that thing catches, you're gone. And I remember thinking that must be one of the side effects why they aren't around, the flammable
Exactly.
nature of them.
Awful. Okay, listeners' comments. I'll go first to my one. McMackerlane's just sent his in while we've been on air here. He has got actually said, I was looking for the photo of you, Rick, and Niall in the underpass. Everything summed up in one picture. I remember that picture now. Unfortunately, that was only about 6 years ago. But he picked check jeans, shell suits, and sandals and socks. Martin, you're sandals and socks, aren't you?
Absolutely not. And interesting, that will reappear.
All right, okay, good.
Oh, interesting. So Sean Spence messaged back at a critique of me, my dyed blonde hair and brown leather jacket. I can't even remember that.
Did you buy it in a second-hand shop? Because apparently one of those, does it have a Union Jack on the inside?
I wish it did.
It's vinted. You get it off vinted.
Alex Perkins, smart pinstripe trousers, Ben Sherman shirts.
Oh,
Ben
yeah.
Sherman were like
It was massive.
everyone mid to late 90s were doing that. Bubble jackets and caterpillar boots, like puffer jacket
Well,
type
puffer
things.
jackets, yes. I remember having an early puffer jacket, but
Yeah, I had one. They were
I have a
great.
puffer jacket now.
Ooh, I think I've got one as well, but
well, you do. You arrive sometimes
do.
in the middle of winter
Yeah.
in your big puffer coat.
yes, I do actually. I
believe
It's been so long. Coloured belts. There was a phase about 10 years ago where people would wear like the bright white belts or yellow belts.
Especially in
and stuff.
golf. It became
Yeah,
a thing.
true, actually.
Yeah.
That's the winter golfer message, didn't that actually? Ron Greer. Who else? Someone said here about Marty wear shoe, socks and sandals.
Would that be Mr. McCamley by any chance?
It wasn't actually, it was Ron Greer. High top trainers, V-neck t-shirts.
People still wear them now. They are a fashion disaster. And to be fair, I think I maybe had one.
I think I have a couple of t-shirts.
Espadrilles with straw on the bottom.
Oh,
that,
do you remember them?
that basically get ruined if there's
That's what I was saying.
rain.
Is you can't go out in Belfast in espadrilles.
Okay. Martin, have you any?
Well, one just as a very general throwaway, a fashion crime we forgave too easily was Burberry. Just generally Burberry,
it was.
Burberry,
and the fact that it went to
It went to Spidey people.
they took a good brand and turned it
Yeah,
into something
wrecked it.
that I had. So anyway, Janet Williamson sent through ankle socks with Moses sandals,
Which is
the same
similar,
thing. Yeah. Tank tops, men wearing tank tops out on the street.
Yeah.
And not everybody has your muscle physique, Andy, and can get
have-
away with it.
I did wear a tank top once. There's a photo. In
A
It
tank
does not
top,
surprise.
just a tank top or a tank top over a shirt?
It was a tank top.
Oh yeah, no, not tank tops over shirt. That's a completely different thing. And baseball caps worn backwards.
Oh, no. Whatever people think that is.
One of our listeners, Ben Campbell, says Druid's golf gear. Colin McCamley, Martin's friend, says way too much hair gel in the mid 90s.
Oh, there was.
Oh yeah,
You were
that was
cute in
another.
it.
That was another fire risk.
Yeah.
He also says cream jeans. There was a
A
Right.
phase. Yeah.
there was Adidas popper tracksuits with a little popper thing.
Oh, yes.
below it.
Aye.
They were popular as well.
I've got Rodney Maxwell, who does the vinyl vault with me. Back in the 80s, I bought some army trousers from Top Man, a white style hoodie, but the actual fashion disaster was pairing it all with white slip on shoes. I cringe even today on it. I also said I also bought a pair of denim slip-on shoes with
Denim?
brown edging. I think it was the Miami Vice influence. Miami Vice caused a lot of fashion disasters. I did have white trousers.
Yeah.
You see, something like the Miami Vice look
Yeah.
works in Miami.
It does.
Where it's hot. It does not work in, and I'd just pick anywhere. I could pick anywhere in the UK. Let's just go with Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
Scunthorpe, you're not going to look great in the Miami Vice.
It's like white jeans.
Scunthorpe listeners turning off when their droves.
I know. I hate ruining a demographic.
It's like white jeans. Can you get away with them on a holiday? And definitely not here.
As a bloke, no.
No.
Can you get away with them on holiday?
No.
No. Well,
Bet you any money you have
Andy.
white jeans.
No, I don't. Andy, you bound to have white jeans.
I
on
have
holiday.
a cream pair of chinos. I wear quite a bit, not jeans though.
Fubu don't make a white set of jeans.
Peter McQuillan says 3/4 length trousers.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely a
Dreadful.
fashion disaster.
Kappa tracksuit
do you
bottoms. Remember Kappa?
Oh,
And white belts he mentions there as well. So
Mike McCafferty, excellent podcaster from the In the Footsteps of Giants podcast. He said the David Beckham sarong. We forgave that fashion disaster too quickly.
We did.
Victoria Danoon said white calf length socks on blokes. In other words, not just short white socks, but those ones that are sort of calf length.
yeah, we're good today.
Yeah, well, we both looked at each other.
Skin stroke nude coloured leggings. Again, bit specific. Wouldn't have known
Yeah,
exactly how,
no.
how to do that. And then she said, number one, unitards. No, I'm not sure. I think this must be a ladies' fashion thing, but unitards don't obviously. Even Andy's not looking up, going, "Oh, I'm feeling guilty."
Yeah.
I've Chris Gallagher messaged in men with man bags. That actually
it's massive now.
Yeah, wear them as a thing.
Are you a man bag person?
Never, ever, and never will.
Do you know, it's funny. Of the three of us, I would have assumed it was you.
No, not at all.
I think the trend of wearing them continuously around you.
But see now, like I was coming up, the Merge Festival's on. Every guy had a man bag
Oh,
on.
really?
But that's because they're all carrying vapes and
Aye.
And then
drugs and stuff.
a controversial one, which Martin alluded to earlier. Chris Gallagher also mentioned anyone over the age of 35 wearing a football shirt with a number of another man on the back. Bellingham 5 was the one he mentioned. And then final ones, Corin messaged in long sleeve t-shirts under short sleeve shirts.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like a very American sort of
It's
Limp
very
Biscuit
American,
thing.
yeah.
And then wallets on a chain.
Well, actually, in London in the around 1990, that would have been very useful. A wee wallet on a chain for you, Andy.
I was thinking he's came up with some
You'd
topical
be 30
stuff.
quid better off.
Now, here, before we go there, do you think he has keys attached to his belt?
Oh, yeah.
On the side.
100%.
Never.
Oh,
Never
come
done
on.
it in my entire life.
Seriously.
Final one I have is from a friend of the show, Johnny Kerr.
Well, it's good he replied to you because he didn't reply to me.
No, he didn't reply
Right.
to me.
And so he came up with his number 3 hate is a mullet. So you probably, your mullet
My mullet
qualifies.
was there.
Number 2 hate is a moustache.
I know, I'm not.
And his number 1 hate is a mullet and moustache combo.
An insight into Johnny's world.
Yeah, but there you
We'll
go.
definitely have a bit of biz with him whenever we get off this.
Anyway,
Very village
listeners,
people.
listeners, as we all know, you'll all think back to your own fashion crimes. I think my colleagues have been way too honest today, and I have stuck to a more general approach to the whole thing. But it's nice to get an insight into their formative years and to see what mistakes they made. By the way, I would like to say listener of the day, and we don't often do an award, but listener of the day is to Dennis, who is now also going to win Parent of the Week, stroke month from my purposes. But we will be very interested to hear if you have any other ideas as to what fashion crimes we all forgave too easily. There are so many that this probably has only touched the surface of it. But until we're back discussing another important issue here on the Pick 3 show, on behalf of the podcast, my name is Martin.
My name is Gareth.
And my name's Andy.
And you all have a different mental image of us than you had when we started. And if you want to see what we really look like, check out our YouTube channel where you'll see the little graphics of how we all actually look. And to be honest, none of us look as good as our graphic. But there you go. We'll see you all very, very shortly.